welcome to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. This space age emissary of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Play, and Spotify. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is my cool also host with the most, Winter Trash Monk the Thizzard.
What's up, everybody? This is Winter. That is Trash Monk the Third. That's Trash Monk I. That's Trash Monk I.
Ooh, is it the ASMR version?
Yeah, I got something to tell you.
What's that? Get wrecked, everyone.
Yeah.
Here on this
Get wrecked, everyone. That sounded like a dad. Or someone called me a Facebook dad today.
That's no bueno, bro.
Yeah.
Like what? Like you want to fight?
Yeah.
Dude, I've never been a Facebook dad, but I've been a comic book store dad. Because one time we were having a comic book club, and a bunch of guys walked by the comic book store and did, in of course, in Revenge of the Nerds fashion. It was like, nerds! Which I thought was hilarious because you'd have to be a nerd to know that reference.
Yeah.
So a bunch of the alpha males got up real fast and right outside to see who did it. Like, you guys aren't going to do anything.
Right. Alpha males of a comic book club.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Oh, geez. They had their chests all puffed.
Who said that? Taking a shot of their inhaler.
One's popping insulin into the thigh. Like, come on, guys. Come on, guys. What are you going to do? Beat them up?
But other than that happening yesterday, what was your day? What's your week been like?
Because we live in the horrible yet beautiful United States of America, we had a date to celebrate our colonizers, which I happily took my day off.
Colonizers?
Yeah, man. You know they know who they are. So I had an extra long weekend where I did two things. And I just
nothing.
Nada, por favor. So I did two things I really want to talk about, and one of those things I actually did with Winter, which was super fun. I've just been thinking about it since we've done it. But the two things I watched something and I played something. I'm trying to do that every week. Watch something, play something. Just real quick, I'm still playing Apex. It's still fun. Slowly getting better, but not still getting carried, whatever. I watched a Netflix series that no one's really talking about, and it's a shame, and that is the Umbrella Academy. I watched the Umbrella Academy. I marathoned it. I didn't think I was, but yeah, I watched it in one shot, the entire first season, and it was quite amazing, actually. A series
good. That's on my list to watch this weekend.
It's really, really. It's not amazing. I'm not gonna. It's not like, oh my goodness. It was a religious experience or anything like that. But it was very, very. It took me by surprise because it's created by the guy by Gerald Way from My Chemical Romance fame, and the artist, I believe his name is Gabriel Ba or something like that. And it's a comic I'd always known about, but I never paid much attention to. Just didn't read it. I was reading Y the Last Man at the time. Sorry. So I went into this series with no kind of nerd knowledge. I was just watching it as anybody else would watch something. And the show is equal parts, I would say, Pulp Fiction in, I would say, not even nothing comic book like. It's like equal parts Pulp Fiction, equal parts like an Edgar Wright movie. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Because not to give too much away, I don't even want to go into the plot.
Is Simon Pegg make an
No,
appearance?
I was surprised not. The one thing, and the reason I give it Pulp Fiction is because the show uses a lot of licensed music, kind of like this song is supposed to be how you feel kind of situation. You know what I mean? A very
I started a joke. Running the whole world laughing.
no, you know, it's like there's a action scene where "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen is playing.
Stop.
Yeah, and it's
all right. I'm not watching. I'm not watching the show anytime soon. That's been played.
yeah. It's one of those. It's that kind of thing.
Next, I've seen parodies of Star Wars use that song.
It's there. This series has a lot of music I know, which is kind of off-putting. You know what I mean? But the series is really, really good. It's has very compelling stories, and this series has convinced me that I prefer my live action comic book media in the long form TV series Netflix version. I don't want it in movies anymore, because if you put this series into a 2-hour movie, it would not do anyone justice. It's too layered. It has unbridled creativity, I would say. Almost, yeah.
This is okay. So, Winter's Trash Monk hot take, fresh trash. Here we go. Why didn't they not use My Chemical Romance music for?
There's one song written by Garrett Way, who does like the outro song, the last song of the series, and there's a song by Mary J. Blige who plays a role in the show. And she's good. She's really good. She plays no spoilers, but she plays a very important role, and she acts throughout every single episode she's in. The series is very surprising. I was.
You're making me upset.
It's very. I'm telling you, I can't front. It was I cared about every character. There's certain story arcs that I believed. Everyone acted their ass off. Ellen Page was amazing in this show as the white violin, and this show is very Dark Phoenix. I will say that it reminded me a lot of the Dark Phoenix saga, and it just is it had a very Dark Phoenix X-Men, a very X-Men vibe. It also reminded me of not the movies but the comics of Hellboy comics, the old school Hellboy comics, and it's just unbridled creativity. Like, this guy has a active volcano for a head, and he talks through smoke clouds and smoke screens and stuff. Like, this crazy approaches to things, and I'm just like, okay, you're telling me to suspend disbelief. If you're doing that right off the bat, then I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? So I give it a high recommend. Just know that you're going to have songs tell you how to feel, and that's probably my biggest gripe about it, because I hate that. It's played, like you said, it's played. But other than that, I absolutely was invested to the point where I'm thinking about buying a couple of the trade paperbacks and getting a bit deeper into it. Like, I want to know more about these characters and not have to wait until season 2, if it even happens. The other thing, Winter, I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about, that we played. We can wait till the end of your week. So, did you do anything this week, Winter?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just announce the news about one of my favorite things. So, as many of you know, I mention Funhouse a lot, and two of the people who are hosts of Funhouse are Adam Kovic, who was known originally as the Dead Pixel dude, and also Bruce Green. And together, they started, I believe, a couple months ago, doing their own thing of announcing or like talking about video game news. And it was kind of like what they used to do before for a thing called Inside Gaming, which was part of Machinima. And then, of course, we covered the news about Machinima taking down all the old Inside Gaming videos. And they were like outraged, but then they were like, well, that's the nature of the beast, folks. Now, fast forward to, I believe, Saturday or Friday, where they announced that, well, Inside Gaming's back. They're back as hosts, along with the people who were hosting it when they were gone, and now they're doing both Funhouse as well as
Mm.
Inside Gaming, because now Machinima is under their same company that Rooster Teeth is under, and Rooster Teeth owns Funhouse, or like has Funhouse in its war chest. So
Looks like it.
exciting, exciting stuff happening over at RT
Yeah, it
and
sounds like
Machinima.
everything kind of worked out. Like
Right.
somebody spilled the salad, but it fell directly back in the bowl perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they do not mince words. They do not like Machinima. I will say that for if there the language that Adam Kovic uses is something that would, to me, say make it sound like he does not like Machinima or their tactics, and I'm more power to them. I like I watch some of their videos, inside gaming
Yeah,
videos.
man, that's what's up. I'm happy to hear kind of these phoenixes rising from the ashes of these situations. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're just gonna put this back together. Screw Machinima. We're under this
Right?
new moniker. They're cool with it, and they want to pay us to do it. So yeah, put it
Yeah.
back. Get the band back together.
Now, I don't know if we I don't know if we can use the metaphor of a phoenix. I want to say that they create something and they go, "Oh, look, this is neat," and then they put it back on the shelf for whoever has money to then revive it again. So yeah, in a sense, it is a phoenix. I mean, the show was still going on without them, but it took this coming under the heading of Full Screen Media, I believe, which then owns Rooster Teeth and now
Right.
Machinima or whatever. And now together they're like, "Oh, let's bring this back out and take a look at it again and see if we
That's
can
what's
get
up.
any
I'm happy
interest."
that even though I'm not, I haven't listened to their
Yeah,
content, and this may spur me to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? But I just like hearing
yeah,
stories like that. Like, hey, we were out.
yeah. It's a yeah. It's definitely showing of like new age, new media tactics, where instead of like a show dying and it never sees the light of day, sort of thing, there's always the potential of, let's bring back this show, or let's
Yeah,
bring back this
I mean,
YouTube channel. Yeah, if someone wants to pay for it, if someone's gonna watch it,
yeah, I think
it will
Netflix
come
kind of
back on
spurred
YouTube.
that, bringing back old stuff and like refrying these beans as it were. Like bringing back Modern Family.
Right.
What was it? Fuller House
Full House,
and
Fuller
what was it?
House.
Curb Your Enthusiasm had a revival on Netflix. It's like, hey, if someone's
Well, Curb Your Enthusiasm isn't on Netflix. It's
oh,
Amazon
I stand
or
corrected. I thought
Hulu.
Netflix was working on
Yeah.
that, but that's cool. That's
I mean, they might. I don't know, but it's still an HBO thing. I mean, they just released a
mhm.
season last year, I believe, of
I'm all
Curb
for
Your Enthusiasm.
revivals. Yeah, as long as it's kept.
Yeah. And also one of the main guys
Yeah,
died. So, yeah. And you
I
stepped
know.
in it
I just
now,
step in
Mike.
anything. I devour all knowledge for this particular content, but I'm happy that they found their footing and they're getting the band back together. I always like a good get the band back together story.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely it's a weird place because Funhouse, I mean, having one media thing to do, YouTube channel to help run is one thing, but now they have to do inside gaming as well. It's still relatively new to see
Hmm.
what the schedule is going to be like,
That's
but
good. Crazy is
it's
good.
crazy.
Crazy makes things happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all for that. Uh,
Right.
anything else? You does you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
man. We
did do
played a little
something on
game
Sunday, didn't we?
that was a night of feasting and sport to which the likes you will never forget. No, we didn't go to medieval times, but we might as well have. Uh, we played something that's going to be airing on the channel soon, which is MOTN plays Dungeons and Dragons. Where me, Mike G, I've never played a game of Dungeons and Dragons in my life, plays with 4 seasoned vets, including Winter, who's DM'd multiple times, and a new campaign where new voices are going to be on the channel, and it's going to be fun and fancy for all. We'll have to see how it goes. Very excited. You know, what was your thoughts about it, Winter?
Yeah, yeah, it's been a while since I've played myself. It's hard. It's kind of easy. It's kind of like a pair of roller skates, just getting back in the thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy to be on board. It was a fun game. It's nice to have we have a range of ages. I believe
that kind of tripped me out actually. That one of our
Around it.
guys has to be like maybe in his 70s, maybe his 80s. That's cool. That's super cool. That's super cool.
I think that's cool. Yeah. And he's definitely taken all his knowledge of
He's
D&D
super chill. I
and
like
making
him,
it,
man.
it
He's
work.
real
It's pretty
cool with
awesome.
it. So like seasoned D&D legends we're playing with, dude. So it's like it's such a learning experience, and I'm like so gung ho, or so excited rather. Gung ho is not good, but just really excited to kind of pursue it and see where it goes. You know what I mean? Playing with the masters of the D&D nerdiverse, as it were. You know, it's what's up. It's pretty what's up. So you'll be hearing that. To be dated. I'm thinking about pushing it up from what I'm thinking about debuting it, but I have to see. I have to see how the editing goes. So you'll be hearing it very shortly. Our good listeners. Yes. So barring that, did you want to get into the news?
Yes, let's get on
News,
to the news.
Yes, we're getting sued. Okay, can't do that. Can't do that. That's a no-no, doing that tune. Unless you're ultra old, like me, and know where that tune is from.
Yep.
You will not be. You'll be in the legality danger, that legal field that flashes over your head where you're doing something you're not supposed to. Have you ever had the legal field generate over your body, Winter? The legal field, you're about to do something illegal, and that sensation of like breaking the law comes over you, and you're like, oh no. You're a good boy.
No, I've never broken the law.
I've thought about breaking the law, but I've never done it. I've been too scared. I've never done it.
Okay.
Oh man,
I don't
believe you. Me and my cousin were 14 once, and we dined and dashed out of a Carol's because we didn't have enough money. That's about it. That's the furthest time I've broken the law.
That's what I thought. I heard a crazy. Okay, before we go on, this is a crazy story. I bought Girl Scout cookies today, and she wanted, and I went to grab them. She's like, "Pay first," and I asked, "Wow, okay." And then, well, I didn't ask. That was my reaction. And then she told me about how someone like ordered $50 worth of cookies, and then she gave them to them, and then they just ran off without paying for them.
It's this cold world. Huh?
Yeah. And she's like, if I ever meet that Mike dude,
just imagine
again.
me in like a bed of cookies, laughing and eating at the same time. Just just cookies pouring out of my mouth. Okay, super ultra important question. What kind did you buy? And yes, there is a wrong answer.
I bought Samoa Joe's, or as you Philistines might call, caramel delights, and then I bought Thanks a Lot cookies, and 1 box of Thin Mints, which I don't remember ordering, but I paid anyways.
30%.
I don't like Thin Mints
on your cookie decisions there. I'll stand by it. I'll allow it.
I'll stand by it.
You should have added some Tagalogs in there, but hey, none of us are perfect. All of our
I'm not into that. Those Tagalogs new are the cookies.
Future, though. It's Tagalongs in like Cold Fusion,
Yeah. It's the first
Whereas
step towards Babylon.
Tagalongs is you need to tag along to go to Babylon. You gotta say it like that.
All right, you're getting all the Marley
Yeah,
siblings
man. Tag
going.
along
That
to
could be another
Babylon.
reggae song.
Tag
Tag
along
along
to
to
Babylon.
Babylon.
they,
Out on the
they
streets,
call it
they call it
cookies.
hustling. Cookies.
Yeah, we got a
Let's
life
get
to
in. I
live.
got other stuff to
I
do.
don't
Let's do
want
this.
to wait in vain for my cookies. Yeah. Shut up. The news. I want to talk about something that is dumb and is a rumor, but may be true. Okay, I needed your confirmation before moving forward.
Okay.
So let's pre-reference this by saying it's a rumor, and it's probably a high percentage rumor because normally I don't like going into rumors on this channel. I'm not a big fan of it, but this rumor just perked my ears hard enough to where I'm not a big fan of it. I said no, Salt. And apparently the Xbox Live exclusive that was killed on Dead on Arrival, Platinum Games' own Scalebound, is making a revival, funny enough, on the Nintendo Switch. What? How?
Right. Interesting, by the way, that you bring up this article because it's Alana Pierce who mentions that Scalebound will still come out, just not as an Xbox exclusive. Alana Pierce, former IGN editor, now editor of review movies,
Small
as well
world,
as other
isn't
videos
it?
for Funhouse and Inside Gaming.
Sadly, it is. So
Sadly,
I know, right? We need hopefully
we need
us.
more people.
Wink.
Science, use your teeth, please.
I'm so tired of being broke.
I can't take anymore, kids.
That was weird. So Scalebound was a game that was going to be a Xbox One exclusive, actually, way back in the day. It was made by Platinum Games. It's supposed to be like a multiplayer Devil May Cry kind of thing. And unceremoniously was just killed. Like, we're not doing it. And it was almost completed, apparently. It was like 80% done or something nuts like that. And it was just shelved in the Microsoft vaults, apparently for all eternity. And rumor is that this Nintendo is going to bring it back for the Switch. Yet another reason to own a Nintendo Switch is to play this probably res down, probably 720p 30 frames per second version of this game. That was probably going to look insane on the Xbox, but hey, I'll take it in any version. I don't care.
Or we don't, and we move on.
I'm going to play it.
Just make a Scalebound 2. Just make a Scalebound 2.
Just act like the first one already came out.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? That'd be dope. Like, this is Blood Axe 3. Like, when was 1 and 2?
Well,
Blood Axe 3.
Well, think about that for a second. So you have Scalebound, which they're probably just going to try to make a high def version. And bada bing, the game is going to be whatever it was going to be beforehand, only slightly like crummy version of trying to make it look good. But if you tag that along with going, hey, here's Scalebound 2, or name it something else like Scale Ascent or whatever you want to call it.
I was thinking the same thing. Scalebound Ascension. And
then have like attached to it this original Scalebound and sell it for $70. Bada bing, baby. That's how you make that. People would gobble that up like 2 games for the price of 1.
That's what they're doing with Bayonetta. It's like Bayonetta 3 is coming out, but also Bayonetta 1 and 2 are also coming out, like bundled with it. It's like, dude, that's a steal, my dude.
Yes.
So more Nintendo news, because the Nintendo Direct happened this weekend or this past week, and it's a lot of news.
How's Reggie?
Reggie's good, man. Reggie always
Reggie
looks like
Watts.
Not Reggie Watts. He's good too, actually. He's probably killing some chili cheese fries right now. But
they said my name.
He just starts beatboxing with
Yeah.
Rozelle. Okay, what do you guys know about Rozelle? Shut up. No one knows
No
anything
one
about.
knows.
No one knows anything about Rozelle.
You're
Make
on
the
your own there, Chief.
music. I'll fight you. Oh man, Rozelle
You
is
can
the
fight me,
best.
but that'll actually make me not remember even more.
I know.
Brazil
It'll
is-
knock it further out of my brain. Even you mentioning it will be gone. So Nintendo Switch is just trying to be the best Nintendo console ever. Is what they're doing, because these maniacs have decided to completely remake a Nintendo classic, which is The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, which was a Game Boy exclusive way
right.
back in the day. And these madmen decided to just remake the whole game and make it a Switch exclusive. And this is one of those games where people like grew up on it. Like there's Mario guys, there's Sonic people, there's Mega Man guys, and then there's like Link's Awakening people who just eat it up, you know. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's just so smart. You know, a game that's never been remastered or released again is now being brought back in this remade, not a remaster. Like they built the whole thing from the ground up and kept it in this isometric kind of 2D, but also kind of updated graphics. It's just smart, you know. And it's like just another. I keep saying it on this show. It's another reason to own a Nintendo Switch. And it's just one of those. It's shaping up to be one of the best systems since the Super, in my opinion. This thing is getting kind of insane. Did you play? Did you happen to play this game?
I still don't know. No, I did not play this game.
No problemo, no problemo, senor.
I was busy playing Tetris.
We'll get to that. We'll get to
Bing,
that.
bing, 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 bing. Okay.
Yeah, man. Also, during the Nintendo Switch, the things that I want to talk about, there's also the sick character action game called Astral Chain coming out on the Switch.
Okay, I'm worried for you, Mike, that you use the term "sick"
It's sick
for this game.
It's super sick, dude. You're a JoJo character. So
I should not be surprised because you seem to be interested in the Devil May Cry series.
you guys are not. Once that game comes out, I may just have to skip a podcast week, just because I'm going to be so engulfed.
Yes, I'm noticing a theme here
I
in
like
games that you
Winner,
like.
I like what I like, man. Like, don't shame me, bro. I like what I like.
Games that look like they could cause you to have a seizure.
Hey, man.
The battles get real.
If you want your hand-eye coordination to be at S tier, you have to play these games. You got to be on point. Your eyes got to be shifty. You got to have shifty eyes to play these games, dude. So Astral Chain, you're playing as cops with stands. If you know what a stand is, it's from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And there's a pupper. There's a robo-dog that looks super sick. And it runs around and does dog combos. Come on, man. Whatever.
I'm listening.
Whatever.
I'm
It's going to
listening.
be awesome. It's Astral Chain, made by Platinum Games. There's a robot.
Yeah, you can.
I keep saying
You
it.
can say the
I keep
name
saying Astral.
many times.
It's so real, dude. Astral Chain with a pupper with like a RoboCop visor. The pup is like a RoboCop dog. That's your companion, and it does combos. That just says Mike G. That's me.
Yes, the only way I would have played this game if they did Astral Chains by music with music by Alice in Chains.
If you could resurrect the homunculus, which is Alice in Chains, to make a video game soundtrack, I'm all for it. I'm for it.
Pain.
Wow. Speaking of pain, want to talk about this Netflix drop that's a surprise to no one?
Right?
Surprised 6 people on Earth. Apparently, The Punisher and Jessica Jones got canceled at the same time by Netflix. Just get them out of here. Get hype.
Right.
The dream is over now. It's finished.
5 years later.
5 years later.
Punisher on the Walt Disney streaming service
Right.
has come back.
At first, I was like, okay, this is just Disney calling their kids home from playing outside, right? All right, the street lights on, everybody come home, you know. But I'm hearing that it's because Netflix is salty because Disney's making the Disney Plus streaming service, and they don't want to feed their competition. Because before this, Disney was not their competition. They didn't care. Like, hey, let's do it, but we're not going to market your brand on our station, knowing that you already have your own an identical product. So it makes sense on a business level. And it's kind of sad because these characters aren't gone forever. They're popular characters now. Luke Cage is a household name. Like
Okay.
it is.
Let's not get carried
He
away
broke
here.
the internet. You can't deny that.
A household name would mean that I can go to a mammy jammy 40-year-old woman.
Yeah, man, she'll know.
Going, do you know who Luke Cage is? And then they're going, when was that in movie theaters?
Nah, she'll say "Sweet Christmas" and dab on you, and then she's in effect. But they're good enough known names. They were getting very good ratings. And Punisher, Jessica Jones are officially done. The sad thing is that all these characters are probably going to be recasts like 10 years down the road. And that kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Because the actors who are playing these roles were very dedicated to those roles, especially the guy who played Daredevil. He was legit broken up by it. Like, man, it sucks. I wasn't ready to stop. Like, it's too soon. But I'm more than happy that these guys are leaving Netflix, because I have a feeling Netflix is kind of drawing at straws now. The blood's in the water. Everyone's kind of just doing their thing.
Good grief.
The blood's in the water, dude. Everyone is abandoning ship, dude.
We need to have a soundboard for all these hot takes that's coming out of our mouth.
Just saying. I give Netflix 5-10 years, dude.
Oh,
legit.
Mike.
People are going to start divvying up their money elsewhere.
I hope out of the words coming out of the ironic artist right now are just being ironic.
No, man, I'm being deadpan serious. You got to think about it like
10 years.
Netflix will be like, oh, you remember Napster? It's going to be like that.
Oh my God.
I'm just call me crazy. I'm just calling it. Like, there's too many of these companies that are loaning out their properties to Netflix, where they're going to get the bright idea, like, we'll just pull it and do our own thing. Warner Brothers is going to have its own channel at some point. Disney already has their own channel, you know what I'm saying, which is going to have Fox and a ton of different crazy stuff. Columbia is going to do it. New Line. Everyone's going to start doing it. And it's going to be like, oh, yeah, pay $20 a month to watch Orange is the New Black. People will do it, but it's not going to be the juggernaut it is now. It's not Amazon. There's no Amazon killer out there. You know what I mean? Amazon is infinite because there's no challenging market, dude. Netflix is getting.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think Netflix has a better chance of buying out or doing a feature, which they. I think this is what you should be hoping for at least for a more realistic future.
I'm not hoping. I'm just saying that's the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, of Netflix being still around, but for an extra $2 a month, you can get the CBS package on.
You think it's going to start doing a part and parcel like that for the companies who aren't big enough to have their own channel, their own, like, because CBS has its,
but CBS has its own channel now, and it's like they're putting all their eggs in their basket, thinking that people are going to want to watch Star Trek and Twilight Zone on it.
People are going to do it because that's where the quote unquote money is, and everyone's like stepping up to Netflix, pulling their toys back until Netflix is not going to have anything else to produce but their own content. What you see, they're pumping out like crazy. They're spending millions of dollars pumping out their own content because everyone.
Well, you'll have to ask where the money. Well, it's hard to say where the money is, to be honest, for me, because the numbers are always going to be fudged by the people.
Charge. Yeah, you're never going to know.
For instance, Netflix is going to say that we made this amount of money, or like it's hard. I don't know. I mean, it's certainly ad space on these things as well, but that can only take you so far, particularly when we're in a market that wants an increase in revenue each year or each quarter, really.
You know,
I'm sorry, I got distracted by Banana Splits revived as a horror movie. I'm done with
all right, we're moving on. That's a good place to stop. Speaking of things that makes you want to quit, apparently Ben Affleck was recently on, I think, Jimmy Kimmel, and he publicly announced that he's no longer playing Batman. He publicly, in front of a camera, like on national on live TV was like,
Right.
"Yeah, I'm done," and I couldn't be happier. Like, what? Good
Good
for
for him.
him,
Good
man.
for him.
I mean, like his approach is a bit garish, I think, but it's
Yeah. Let's get Wyatt Russell in here and let him
why
play
Russell would
Batman.
kill it as Batman. But I
Yeah.
think I think there's nothing more absolute than that, and that's fine. And I think Ben Affleck never really got a shake as a superhero actor, and that sucks because he had the look, he had the build, but I don't know. And he wasn't in my opinion, he wasn't a bad Batman. He wasn't a bad Bruce Wayne. It just he didn't get what he wanted. He didn't get what he was promised. And DC honestly doesn't know what the hell they're doing right now. It is not his fault. It's really he had a really rough deal with that whole thing. Because I could promise you, his agent was like, "Look, you're going to be in 2 of these movies. You just do it. Then you're going to be able to direct your own Batman movie. They're going to let you direct it, and you're going to direct yourself. It's going to be like the town. You're going to make an Oscar-winning Batman movie because you're that good."
Because the town was so
Yeah, because the town
successful.
was like the best thing he's ever done, and he was like, "Yeah," and then and then Zack Snyder just
How dim
dim
apples.
cash me outside. How about that? And then we saw the DCEU implode into itself with all that drama, and he couldn't handle the memes. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
and I think that's a big part about reserving yourself to be in these roles. Is like if for any cultural phenomena, like if you're going to be in a Star Wars movie, if you're going to be in a Marvel movie, a DC movie, even a Fast and Furious movie, you have to be impervious to the memes. You can't let the fans get to you because they're crazy and they're ravenous and they're inventive. You know?
Yeah. Just tell him to stop what he's doing, make a Goodwill Hunting 2, Goodwill
Wow.
Still Hunting, and
Oh,
there you go.
jeez. Well,
Would you
I didn't watch
watch
Goodwill
it?
Hunting 1, so no, I was too
Jeez.
busy.
And you're telling me that Netflix is gonna be
Okay, I want to know. I want to know the Goodwill Hunting parties where everyone just sits around and watches it and eats pizza. I want to know those parties. All right, we got a lot.
we don't eat
You know
pizza,
what?
we drink wine and have
Wow.
tapas.
Speaking of hippie picks, let's talk about Jade being in Mortal Kombat 11. That's the most
Okay,
hipster character
okay.
choice in video in fighting games because she's such a niche character that people have been screaming about for years. Jade is one of the princess clones because there's different kinds of clones in Mortal Kombat. There's the ninjas, which are the Rainbow Ninjas, which is Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Nobsabat, Purple Rain, which is based off Prince, Ermac, a reptile, whatever. But then there's the princesses, which is based off Katana, Melina, Scarlet, and Jade. I think those are the 4. And Jade is kind of the unsung hero out of the 3. Maybe Scarlet would be 4, but Jade is kind of like one of the lesser known characters. She didn't make it to Mortal Kombat X, which was Mortal Kombat 10, for those who don't know the Roman numerals. And fans literally were livid. They were like, where's my Jade? Because everybody has their maid, It's like,
Yeah.
it is fine because I didn't play Street Fighter 5 because Blanco wasn't in it. And he's like such a hipster pick too, so I'm not throwing stones in a glass house. But I'm trying not to, at least, as my foot jams into my throat. But Jade looks good. Everything about this game looks good. It's smooth. The animations are ridiculously sharp. I just want to play it. I can't wait till it's purchasable so I can save up some money and play it. But Jade looks good. Jade looks super good. Do you have anything to add to this conversation, Winta?
No. But I do I do want to add, I want to spend the time that we would have talked about Jade on this comic this next news clip, because I want you to explain to me what
going
is
on here. What's going on here?
What? The Savage,
Okay.
like, so I read here. Is there like a timeline in the comic book world that has
No,
Savage in it?
it's okay. This is okay. We're gonna fall down a very small Marvel
Okay.
bleach hole if that's okay. I'll try to keep it to 5 minutes. Okay. Marvel in the
Gosh.
2000s went through a
Okay.
phase where it was Adjective Avengers, right? It was the Mighty Avengers, and that was his own crew of different heroes. There was the Dark Avengers, where it was all the evil versions of Avengers, and then there was, of course, uh, the Secret Avengers, and there was this whole group. So they kept making reasons
Yeah.
because Avengers made $1 billion. They were flooding the market with Avengers comics that made no sense,
Like the
like the
Revenge Avengers,
Revengers
and
and the Defenders and all that crazy stuff, right? So this is a new comic called the Savage Avengers. And the reason I bring up this one, because I don't
yeah.
get to talk about comics that often on this channel, like legit like comic books. But this lineup is so stupid that I love it. That for somehow Conan the Barbarian is going to be in a modern time Avengers group with Wolverine and Venom and like Elektra, Conan the Cimmerian, like from like the
And who's
Brother
Brother Voodoo?
Voodoo.
Is that
No,
Baron
that's you're
Samedi?
thinking of Baron Mordo.
Sammy.
That's a different magical Negro, as they say. Jesus. Uh, but Brother Voodoo is a '70s hero who's kind of like a magician, like Doctor Strange, but except for using like the mystic arts he uses, like voodoo and like still the African American magics. It's hard to explain. But he's a powerful dude as well. He was a sorcerer supreme at one point when Doctor Strange was dead in the comics, quote unquote. And he's a good guy. He's pretty good. His brother haunts him from the grave, but gives him like advice in fighting and stuff. Brother Voodoo's cool, and
I'm just saying that the writer Michael Savage,
Fred Savage.
the series will be written by Jerry by Jerry Duggan, and they list like another comic book they wrote called The Savage Sword of Conan. So does he just have a theme of like adding
he
Savage
might,
to the
because
front
that's a
of
very
everything?
big coincidence. Because he wrote Conan, which Conan is not in the Marvel. Conan's in the Marvel universe, but he's not in the Marvel universe. He's not fighting freaking Doctor Doom on on the Brooklyn Bridge. Conan is eating a rack of lamb in BC, getting chased by a dinosaur. That's Conan riding a saber-toothed tiger, and you can always tell. And I do this every single time it happens. You know who Marvel is pushing in their movies based upon who they're giving shine to in their comics. It's like clockwork. Like, the why you didn't see the X-Men or Fantastic Four for years? Because they didn't own the rights. And they didn't want to advertise them. But you saw the Inhumans, you know what I mean? You saw the Guardians of the Galaxy, you know what I mean? These C-tier kind of groups who got big, who they wanted to push. So now I will make another crystal ball prediction that you're probably going to see a Conan the Barbarian movie in the next 10 years. Marvel's Conan the Barbarian.
Played by Wyatt Russell.
Who is Wyatt Russell, Doug?
Or
Just tell me.
He's Kurt Russell's son that is now in movies. Like he was in
he was in a recent one, wasn't he?
Yeah, Overlord.
Yeah, I need to watch Overlord. I heard Overlord was super good. In fact, I didn't watch that tonight.
He was in the movie Goon 2, The Gooning, and
okay.
No, I don't know if it's The Gooning, but it's he's an ex-hockey player, college hockey player too. Yeah, he check him out, guys. Wyatt Russell. He's going to be here for a while. He's probably going to go through a phase of terrible action movies, and then he's going to make Conan.
He's going to be cast as Wolverine. $100. He's going to be cast as the Wolverine, Logan. real quick news I don't care about. Jared Leto is no longer playing the Joker. He announced it on the Earth. That's so sad. Like, all I think about, what makes this so funny, is that these actors being gamed up by their agents. Like, look, man, you're going to be the Joker. You're going to do it your own way. You're going to be like in 10 movies. You're going to make $1 billion. You understand? You're going to be this generation's Joker. You're going to be the Joker. And Jared Leto's like, yeah. Then the whole thing just explodes. Like, the whole thing. That's nutty to me. Like, how did you mess that up so much? Not him. He did what he thought he had to do. But Warner Brothers, how did you mess this up so badly? It's insane, dude. Yep. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. Oh, man. They hurt him real bad. So the last thing I want to talk about, the last bit of news, is another Nintendo Direct announcement, which is kind of the coolest thing of the week to me. And that is Tetris 99. Have you seen anything about that?
Yeah.
One step beyond. Yeah. So, I'm not a big fan of Battle Royale games. That's been known. I don't play a lot of them. I'm not a Fortniter. I didn't play the PUBG. I do like Apex Legends, but I just started getting into that. But what did Nintendo and Tetris do? They said, we're going to make our own Battle Royale, but for Tetris. And Tetris 99.
Yeah.
This is the most insane thing, but it's so smart. Tetris 99 is a free game. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost anything. All you have to do is, except your time. And all you have to do is be like a subscriber to their online play, like Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus or whatever. Uh-huh. And how it goes is that you're in a group of 100 different Tetris players, and everyone is playing to be the final person who survives last. And everyone's attacking each other by playing strategically, and it's a big, crazy, like microcosm of awesomeness and organized confusion. And it looks like so much fun to play. And it is so much. And I've been watching hours of it because I'm just fascinated by it. And there's so much strategy to it. It hits all the right spots of a battle royale, but in this completely different context. Have you been able to check this game out, Winter?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. I like the idea of it. The only downside, I don't like how people can mess up your screen while you're playing, or like you can mess with people's game. I think if they just left Tetris on its own, it's able to sell.
I hear you, but at the same time, those games will last forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could. So
there has to be some
right. I would say that you should mess with the time then. And if worrying about it being forever is an issue, have it speed up to where the levels are arrived a lot quicker.
I see that, yeah. But me personally, I do like something about, there is a defense and offense meta in the game.
That's why we never speak to each other outside of the podcast.
No, at all, because we're such different creatures.
Yeah,
me and Winter.
We don't like each other outside of the.
we don't make eye contact. We don't shake hands.
Nope. This
is strictly business, ladies and gentlemen. But no, Winter is awesome. By the way, anyway, I like the idea of there have been people who have been these Tetris gods for almost 40 years now. Like people who just quietly play their Tetris to themselves and are amazing at it, right?
Yeah,
like mothers, probably some grandmothers, grandfathers, just quietly playing their Tetris, not bothering anyone. But now, in this new setting, they're the gods. Like there's 100 people, there's 5 people who've been playing Tetris for 30 years and know what they're doing. And the best Nana 95 is is a killer. Soccer Mom 90s, like Soccer Mom Ultimate just bodied you in Tetris, dude. Like, I think that's so fascinating. Like these low key Tetris deities who's like, oh, I'm just gonna play my Tetris on my Game Boy. No, no, Nana, check this out. And like your grandmother just gets first place, or your mom, or your friend. A totally non-combative game in the history of the game, and now you just dropped this nuclear bomb amongst children and people who quote unquote think they're good at the game. A term I've coined from another podcast called Basement Kings. The people who think they're great, and then I put against, Lacrosse Dad 74 or something.
Right.
He just wrecks you. He's not trying to. He's just playing his game, but you weren't ready for those killers, I just think that's really cool, and it opens up the possibility to what a battle royale game could be. You know what I mean? It's like, if Tetris could do it, anything could do it.
Anything, yeah.
Anything, that's the most abstract that I would have never put those two thought processes together. You could have battle royale sports games. I mean, there are technically racing games are a form of battle royale. Everybody starts at the same time, and there's only one winner. But what if you put 100 people on a racetrack?
Jeez,
out of control, right? I mean, and it's like battle royale is a legit genre, like RPG, sports, fighting, adventure. Real time strategy. It's its own.
That's the way people need to see it nowadays. I mean, I know there are games out there that are added as a mode right now, but that's not the norm. The norm is battle royales are their separate game now.
Yeah, they're to be respected, man. They're not a fad. This thing is real. And I was the first one to say, "Oh, this will be done. It's just Fortnite players." But no, these game companies are getting really creative with how they approach the battle royale formula. And Apex Legends is a beautifully done battle royale game, and Tetris 99 is a creative way to approach it. And I'm sure this blew the minds of so many developers. Like, what? Okay, what dead intellectual properties that we have that we could turn into a BR. You know what I mean? It's good. Can you imagine Bomberman battle royale? You know what I mean? Like a giant grid with 100 Bombermen, and everybody's
what I'm waiting for is Red Dead Redemption 2, where they mentioned that they're doing a battle royale for that. I believe
that hasn't come out.
I don't think so.
Oh man, but you know what? Didn't their multiplayer come out a year after the game? The multiplayer for Grand Theft Auto. So they're probably just being quiet about it. They're waiting for because honestly, I wasn't a fan of Red Dead Redemption 2. It was too boring to me.
Easy there, big fella.
I'm just saying, it didn't make my top. It didn't make my top video games. I'll say that. And I got hands on for it for a bit. It just was too much like work.
Too much like work.
Yeah, I have to clock in to play that game. But a battle royale in that world, where you don't have to worry about feeding your horse and brushing your hair and making sure that your little camp is fine, and you can just go and shoot the bang guns in the Wild West. That may be a bit more brain dead and more fun, in my opinion. But battle royales, they're here to stay. They're making way too much money, and people are already starting to reinvent the wheel when it comes to them. And I'm just excited. I'm actually excited to see the different approaches that are going to be coming down the pipe. I'm just mentally trying to figure out a fighting game battle royale or a wrestling game battle royale. How would you do that? And what servers on this planet can support that? And what graphical fidelity can be maintained? Can you imagine PlayStation 5 and Xbox Scarlet every game comes with its own battle royale version. that would be
Yeah.
it'd be kind of overkill, but I wouldn't put it past them. Like Death Stranding has a battle royale. What would that be? Uh, I joke, but The Last of Us could easily have a battle royale built into it. They'll never do it, but you put like 20 people on a map, mix some clickers into it. You know what I mean? The circle closes, survive.
Yeah.
Either you just survive and just worry about the clickers, or you got to worry about the clickers and other people try to eliminate you. It'd be easy to do that, but
I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to think about that.
that's the scary future, man. That's the scary future that we're facing. Yeah. Looking forward to anything?
I'm looking forward to uh nothing really. I mean, I'm excited for next month when it's the battle pass for Apex comes out, and that's gonna be a whole new group of people coming in, and hopefully I can get some wins.
Hell yeah, man. That's what's up, man. I'm excited to draw more versions of my created character in D&D. Because I'm drawing like 7 versions of them. I'm kind of low key obsessed with it. I'm also excited for more Apex Legends. I can't even think about a battle pass until I unlock the 2 hidden characters. That's kind of like where my head's at right now. I want to play enough games to where I can unlock Mirage and the Caustic Dude. That's kind of where my head's at. I can think about yeah.
I've thought about this thing here. So if you play Rocket League, they're coming out with an update where it's no longer just crossplay, meaning that PC players can play with PS4 players, but now, and like Xbox and I believe Nintendo Switch now as well, you can now be on the same team. Like you can be in the same party. That's what they're
cool. Really?
Yeah, so you need to get Rocket League, my dude.
Is that game hard? It looks hard.
It is hard. It has a steep learning curve, I would say. But
yeah,
it requires. I'd rather have someone who can have better teamwork
than play with pubs.
It's mostly about teamwork. That's pretty much about it. Not. I would say aerials are farther in the future than people realize, but having communication of I'm going for it or knowing when not to go for it
is key.
Is a ticket.
Is it free?
No, it's not.
Is it $60?
It's like $20 probably.
Okay, that's not bad. I'll think about it. Yeah. I'm kind of my plate's kind of full right now, with next month being Devil May Cry, and
you can just get it next week. It's fine.
It's fine. Get it now. It's no big deal. Do it. But yeah, nothing to watch. I watched all I wanted to watch, so unless something pops up, but my schedules. I need to watch Incredibles 2 for reasons, so you'll hear more about that later. And yeah, do you have any closing thoughts? Do you have any thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah, everybody, just keep on the lookout for stuff I post online on Trash Monk III. That's Trash Monk the Third. That's Winter, and I will be always online. Feel free to message me if you have any questions.
We're always online.
Or
you
if
understand?
You're
Got him. We're like, okay, first of all, your homework this week, fellow masters, is to watch the movie As Extends and understand that we're constantly online. If that's on Twitter at mnerdiverse, where we're always floating around the Twitter dance hall. If that's on SoundCloud, we're always floating around there. If you're online at like 3:00 in the morning, there's a mnerdiverse cat. Like, what are you buying? And he opens his coat with a bunch of podcasts in it. That's for you. And if you like this content and want to support that weird, creepy dude in the corner with podcasts in his coat, you can give him $1 at his Patreon, which is mastersofthenerdiversecast.com, where with the humble submission of $1 a month, you can definitely help this podcast grow like one of the monsters from OG Power Rangers Gen 1. And if you want to support us non-monetarily, you can always like our posted content, may that be on Twitter, may that be on iTunes. You can leave a comment, leave a review. Please review us. I humbly ask for you to give us a review, good or bad. Let us know how we're doing so we can fine tune this thing and make it better. And of course, you can subscribe to make sure that you're getting our latest content. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I've been your host, Winter.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.